going alone.
Anna, no, I have my powers to protect me. You don't.
Excuse me, I climbed the North Mountains, survived a frozen heart, and saved you from my ex-boyfriend, and I did it all without powers. So, you know, I'm coming.
Me too. I'll drive.
I'll bring the snacks! Can't wait. Anna, Elsa, and Olaf are back for their most epic adventure yet. And as always, there's a ton of heart, not to mention amazing tunes.
We are so excited to have the cast of Frozen 2 joining us live this morning. Welcome, Kristen Bell, Idina Menzel, and Josh Gad. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Or as I said this morning, Josh Goodell, because it's like it all kind of goes with the whole L's, right?
Yes, yes. Why not?
That's our team name.
Yeah. I am the nephew of the NFL commissioner. I haven't told you guys this, but that's who I am.
First of all, congratulations. We were doing the math. We're like, we can't believe it's been 6 years,
6 years
since the first. Did you ever imagine the success, the box office success, one of the highest grossing films of all time, the Oscars, the Emmys, all of it?
Yes, I saw it all. I was keenly aware of how successful. No, we were shocked.
No.
Right?
I mean, it did feel special when you were watching it. Like the first screening, I remember we were all there, and then at the end of the movie, we all kind of looked around like, wow, we made something really special. But I think at that time, we just felt like special for us. And then we had no idea that when we released it, people would be in the mood for a movie like this.
It's just special to be like in a Disney film, to be a part of the Disney family playing Disney princesses who sing was just a milestone for us. We didn't think beyond all of that stuff.
How do you follow that up, though, with this movie? I mean, do you approach it differently? You're at a different level.
Yeah, no, you just said.
They give us scripts, and we read them.
But the team took so long to make it because their goal wasn't just to make episode 2. It was to figure out what needs to be said next. What's the next story in these people's lives? So it took a while so that they could find and mine something really important. And I think they did it. And I will say the movie has matured with its audience.
100%.
As you can see from the trailer, it's a little bit, even visually, it's a little bit darker because it's a dramatic film.
Well, it's an adventure, right? And I think it'll appeal to a wider audience with that adventure.
It's an adventure, but it also offers something in every other category as well, right? It's so unbelievably funny.
It's meaningful.
It's really
It's
meaningful.
really
It's
meaningful.
spiritual. It's got a lot of depth to it.
And like
he's
first,
extremely funny.
Well, you guys are extremely brilliant. And you're going to make me cry. I love you guys so much. You know, also, I have to say, I think the thing that scared me the most, and I'm sure you guys as well, was how do you even match the songs from the original? And Bobby Lopez and Kristen Lopez did the most extraordinary job of not only matching the songs from the original, but offering something new, something completely unexpected with each and every single song that they delivered on this movie.
And there's a lot of backstory that's told in this without giving too much away. How exciting was it to dive into that, into how Elsa gets her powers and what happens to their parents and how important that is to drive this story?
well, you know, the past informs the future, right? And this whole idea of learning from past mistakes so that you can better yourself and better your community is sort of at the foundation of this film. And that's a huge concept, especially to explain to kids. But I'm so glad that they attempted it, because where would we be if we didn't learn from yesterday's mistakes?
And I also feel like what I love about this film is that this family pushes each other to be their most authentic selves. They really want for each other the best, and they want to, I know that Elsa and Anna want to help each other become the most realized and pure women that they are.
Yeah, it's not a selfish movie.
Yeah.
It's really about family, but family beyond just blood, though, too, right?
Yeah.
And it's that theme of don't ever give up, right? Don't ever give up. So what advice would you give your younger selves in a very cutthroat industry? What would be that piece of advice that you would say?
Just do the next right thing.
Oh, that was good.
That's really good.
Thank you.
That's her song in the movie.
That's nice.
Just in case you
Very
didn't know
nice.
that. Then I would always say, just don't be afraid to walk into the unknown.
We're
throwing all
nailing
kinds
it.
of hints.
Josh?
Go to the gym, Josh. Go to the gym, little Josh.
And we learn so much from our children as we see. So what advice would you say your kids have imparted onto you? Because I'm sure they're like, I mean, how do they feel about you being in these films? You must be extra cool to them now, no?
Heck No. It is in your DNA
Yeah.
to reject your parents, and
Yeah.
that is so that you can assimilate with a larger tribe. My kids could care less.
My son's not having it. I'm forcing him to come to the premiere, but I had to bring a cool friend of his so that it was like a thing that they could do and make it cool together.
My kids were in the same boat. I actually dragged them to see the sequel. They got a screening of it the other day. They were very lucky. And they could not have been more excited, more effusive. They immediately said to me afterwards, they go, when can we see it again? So that made me feel, at least for like the next few days, like they respect me again, because then I know it's going to go away pretty quickly.
It doesn't last.
I'm not allowed to sing in my house.
Neither am I.
What? Really?
Yeah, no, it's, I mean, if the minute even something comes out, if I'm vocalizing, just something from the radio that's still in my head, I mean, he just elbows me, like, it's...
If I were
That's
your child, that would be a
insane.
part of my writer. You know,
Yeah.
I'd be like, you have to sing for me.
You're my alarm clock.
He's exactly
Yeah.
the person
You're my
saying,
go-to-bed
though. He
music.
just wants it as far away right now, just so he can find his own way.
That's
Is he?
priceless.
I'm guessing he's about 11 or 12 years
He's
old.
10.
Yeah, there we
Yes.
go. I got a 12-year-old. It's about the same. But he wants to go see this. He's excited about it, and it is looking forward to it.
He should be.
He should be. It's actually, there's such an adventure. It will be really great for boys, too. That's the cool thing. There's quite a, adventure storyline. Because the whole movie takes place beyond the walls of Arendelle. So you're going to see a totally new landscape. The colors in the movies have changed. You meet new characters. You're not in those castle walls anymore. It's all unknown.
But Olaf, I gotta say, I just refer to you as Olaf.
Yeah,
because
my real name is Josh. My real name is Josh Goodell.
I'm telling you, Josh Goodell, I'm telling you, the few little snippets we got to see, it's very hard to get me to LOL these days, like actually
Right.
laugh out loud. My gosh, how did you come up with that voice? It's so good.
Well,
and you need the
my
comic
voice.
relief, right? 'Cause it's
So, God gave it to me.
But did you see
No,
Olaf
you know
first
what?
and that came out?
No, you know what was funny is the first time that I ever recorded it. The directors, Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee, basically they gave me 3 words. They said naivete, innocence, and wonderment. And that's what came out. And that very first scene in Frozen, where you're introduced to Olaf, and he introduces himself to you and Kristoff, that entire scene was the first scene I ever recorded, and it is verbatim what we did on that first day.
So cool.
And to me, this movie really is about these 2 incredible characters, Anna and Elsa. And my job is to just stay out of the way and offer comic relief to support the real story, because even more than Frozen, the thing that I've left this movie with is it is the greatest love letter to siblings that I've ever seen. It is a love letter to sisters in particular, and it is so beautiful and so profound, and Olaf is a representation of their love for each other, just like Josh Goodell is a representation of their love for each other.
You're all so sweet. We feel the love that you all have here. Do not go anywhere, friends. Kristen, Adina, and Josh are answering your questions, plus your last chance to win passes to see them tonight. That's coming up.